something to say about when I got off-boarded from my last job and I'm retiring, and their advice for retiring was to find your brand. Why do I have to brand myself? I'm stopping this. I don't need SMART goals anymore. Like, I need dumb goals. There are some folks these days who believe that you don't really have a right to exist unless you are actually working. My resume has more tributaries than the Mississippi River Delta. It's like 3 pages long. I have the degree in theater, one in graphic arts, and I was a massage therapist. So massage therapist, along with everything that entails, which means I also ran a business, but I've had 6 registered businesses, and I've also done special studies program where you could get special training through the Wharton School of Business. I was a pattern maker for Alfred Angelo Bridal. I worked on the Dior line. I can make a pattern from anything from a toga to modern day Elizabethan clothes. I have tend to specialize in anything theatrical. Projects I did for my graphics degree was to create an eye-catching deck of cards. George Harrison wrote a song called When We Was Fab, so I made a deck called When We Was Fabric. I always made things. I've been very crafty, and but my parents would see what I was making, and then I'd either wind up having to gift it to somebody, a relative, for Christmas, or I would wind up with they'd take it and they'd sell it at their work, and I never got to keep the things that that I made. I've also sculpted, and I had a lot of trouble when I was making the sculptures I didn't want to give them to someone else. I didn't want to sell them. I wanted to keep them. The idea of the skeleton was to learn anatomy from the inside out by creating a freestanding, fully posable, anatomically correct, 8-inch tall ball-jointed doll. And I was a pottery painter for about 5 or 6 years. Designed and painted pottery for Hadley Pottery, using their standard little animals. So I put a chicken, a horse, a pig, and a lamb on ice skates. I turned the wife and the farmer into pilgrims, and they went on salt shakers and also on little coasters. My very first actual registered business was a stained glass business. Made a rose stained glass window and a spider plant window. After the installation, the customer told me that numerous people thought the plant was live and hanging in front of the regular window. But I closed that down. Father kept pushing to get me to buy things with my tax-free status that he wanted. And I'm like, Dad, you want to do tax fraud? You get your own business. I was an events reporter. It was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. So I had front page over the fold article. I also reported on other events. Like the first thing I ever reported on was the closing of the Bucks County Drive-In. I would, for the reporter, I would find out the various details surrounding events at like the Philadelphia Folk Festival. And one thing I like to do is get on the bus and get off someplace and find out what is interesting about that. One of the things that I want to do with this channel is very similar to what I did for the reporter, is go various places, find and deliver useful information, how to attend, what to bring, what to avoid for people in the area, for people who are moving here, for people who just want to visit. When I moved to Oregon, I was looking on YouTube, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Most of the videos that I was looking at of Hillsborough would be just people driving around, and I couldn't really make out where they were. Have a lovely day. Thanks for listening.